On January 27th, 2025, an insane Counter-Strike skin portfolio was uncovered by YixPix, a popular skin collector on Twitter. It has since been regarded as one of the most successful skin investments of all time. Upon hearing the news, I immediately had to know just how successful of an investment was this, and how can you replicate this investment strategy to make even more profit. First, let's get some context as to what this mysterious investor actually has in their inventory. There are currently 784 items in this person's inventory, of which 614 come from the Canals, Norse, and St. Mark's collection. These are the skins we will be focusing on. What is important to note about these skins is they are primarily restricted and classified quality, and are used in trade-ups for a chance to receive the covert quality skins in their respective collections. Op, the Prince from the Canals collection, Op Gungnir from the Norse collection, and the AK-47 Wild Lotus from the St. Mark collection. This investor purchased skins that are required to trade up to a covert skin. What makes this a good investment is the fact that these skins no longer drop and can only be obtained if they are traded up for. Additionally, the supply is decreasing as they are removed from circulation when traded up to the covert skins. Now, let's find out just how much profit this investor made. In order to come up with an answer, we need to make a few assumptions. First off, we will assume that all of these skins were purchased on the Steam market on the last day of the Shattered Web operation being available. Second off, we will not be taking into account any low floats, rare pattern IDs, applied sticker values, or anything else that could increase the value of the skin. We are only paying attention to what each skin could sell for in today's market. Finally, we will be using skinsearch.com to price our skins, which will allow us to see which marketplace the skin is currently cheapest on. Let's get into it. Our first step to analyzing what this person's return on investment is by figuring out what he purchased each of these skins for. We will do this by going to the Steam market for each individual skin and wear and seeing what it sold for on March 31st, 2020, the last day of the Shattered Web operation. Putting all of this together, we have an assumed purchase price of $41,348.37 for the 614 skins we are analyzing. Next, let's take a look at what each of these skins is currently selling for. To do this, I used skinsearch.com to easily see the lowest price that each skin is selling for across multiple marketplaces. This allows us to get a base case as to what the market price is for a particular skin and what the lowest ROI would be if he sold the skins today. After running the numbers, these 614 skins are worth over $256,745. This gives us an investment gain of $215,397 or a 520% return on investment. But these numbers don't paint the total picture. Let's compare this return to the broader CS and global economy as a whole. Let's start off our comparison with the market cap of the CS2 economy. In business terms, a market cap represents the total dollar market value of a company's outstanding shares of stock. In CS2 terms, it represents the total dollar value of all the CS2 skins that are registered. According to Price Empire, the market cap of the CS economy on January 5th, 2023, when they first began tracking this figure, was over $2.1 billion, an absolutely insane figure. Today, the market, which is sitting at an all-time high, has a value of $4.4 billion. To put this into perspective, if the CS economy was a publicly traded American stock, it would be the 1,045th largest company in the country, beating out companies such as Abercrombie & Fitch and Shake Shack, and coming in just behind Valvoline Inc. Crazy. Putting this into our ROI calculator, we have an investment gain of over $2.2 billion, or an ROI of just under 102%, or 38% annualized. An annualized return is a measure of how much an investment has increased on average each year during a specific period. It allows us to compare two or more investments that may not share the same investment time horizon. Moving on to the Esports Fire 300 Index, which is an index that includes 300 hand-selected liquid skins, stickers, and cases that portray the CS2 economy as a whole. Unfortunately, this index only dates back to November 23rd, 2022, but it will do as a comparison. When this index first began tracking skin prices, it opened at a price of $28,882 and peaked at $46,711 on April 19th, 2023. As of March 9th, 2025, it sits at a price of $41,812. Putting this into our ROI calculator, we get an investment gain of $12,929, or an ROI of 44.77%, or 17.53% annualized. Again, this is a tough comparison to make due to the index not tracking since we began investing, but comparing our annualized ROI, we can see that this investor has an annualized ROI of 44.73%, while the broader index had an annualized return of 17.53%. Still, not bad. Finally, let's compare this investment to the S&P 500 index, which, in my opinion, is the most holistic and accurate picture of the US and global economy. To do this, let's pretend we took our initial investment of $41,348 and put it into the S&P 500 index, which opened at a price of $2,614, which would allow us to purchase 15.814 shares. As of March 7th, 2025, the market closed at a price of $5,770 per share, bringing our total investment value to $91,249, or an investment gain of $49,900, an ROI of 120.68%, and an annualized ROI of 17.38%. So, has there been any index even close to achieving a similar ROI or annualized ROI? Let's take a look at this graph that shows the accumulation and price development of all stickers that got released during the Berlin 2019 Major. If you were to buy one of every sticker that was released during the Berlin 2019 Major on September 29th, 2022, when this Esports Fire Index first began tracking the prices, you would have spent $1,277 to acquire all of the stickers. Today, those stickers would be worth over $3,017. Plugging this into our investment calculator, we can see that we had an investment gain of just over $1,700, an ROI of 136%, and the most important figure, an annualized ROI of 42.18%. Moving on to our next comparison, we will be taking a look at this graph for all the weapon cases released between 2016 and 2019. This includes the Operation Wildfire, Chroma 3, Gamma, Gamma 2, Glove, Spectrum, Operation Hydra, Spectrum 2, Clutch, Horizon, Danger Zone, Prisma, CS20, and Shattered Web case. If you were to purchase one of each of these 14 cases on September 29, 2022, you would have spent $19.27. As of March 9, 2025, these 14 cases are worth $56.69. This is an ROI of over 194%, or an annualized ROI of 55.59%. Next, let's look into the index for cases that were released between 2020 and 2022. This includes the Prisma 2, Fracture, Operation Broken Fang, Snakebite, Operation Riptide, Dreams and Nightmare, and the Recoil case. If you were to purchase one of each of these 7 cases on September 29, 2022, you would have spent $4.14. As of March 9, 2025, these 7 cases are worth $16.91. This provides us with an ROI of over 308%, or an annualized ROI of just under 78%. Finally, let's compare our investment with Bitcoin. On March 31st, 2020, one Bitcoin was worth around $6,638. If we took our $41,000 initial investment and put it into Bitcoin instead, we would have 6.23 Bitcoin to our name. Today, Bitcoin sits at a price of just over $80,700, or $500,000 for our 6.23 Bitcoin. This investment would have provided us with an ROI of over 1100% or an annualized ROI of 65%. When comparing our investments based off of annualized ROI, it is clear that diversifying your investment in cases from 2016 and 2022 would have provided you with a much higher ROI than attempting to pick individual collections or skins to invest in. Or you could have just invested in Bitcoin. Finally, let's answer the question you're probably most interested in. How can you replicate this investment strategy yourself? Quick disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. All investments come with risk, and you should do your own research to determine what investment strategy works for you. The first lesson we can learn from this is to invest in items where demand outstrips supply. For example, the Ops, the Prince and Gungear, and the AK-47 Wild Lotus are highly desirable skins, and the only way to create new ones today is by using the skins in the Norse Canal and St. Mark collections to trade up to them. While we can trade up to the classified and restricted skins that this investor has in their inventory, there will never be a meaningful addition in supply to these skins. Our second lesson would be to invest in items that are only available for a limited time. To add on to point number one, we should be looking at items that have a limited life cycle. Think operations, collections, or more relevantly, the Overpass 2024 and Sport and Field collections from the Armory Pass, which will likely be phased out for a new collection sometime in the near future. Our third and final lesson is time in the market beats timing the market. This investor has been holding these skins for 5 years at this point, and a great portion of their gains has been made in the last couple years or so. Take a look at the price of a factory new Mac 10 red filigree from the Canals collection. Sure, this investment could have sold after a year of holding and doubled his money, but they would have missed out on the next 4 years of gains, where we have seen a market boom coming from the release of Counter-Strike 2 and a growing player base. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing and leave a comment with your thoughts. I will attach my math in the description below.